Hello, good morning. Nahuli kami. Kasi napunta kami ng Antarctica. Nandito kami ngayon sa National Museum ng Australia dito sa Canberra. Yan. So, very exciting. Ang daming mapanood. So, 20 minutes. Mayroon pa tayong 20 minutes na manood ng mga to. And then, proceed kami sa pangalawang panoorin. Okay. Malaking screen lang yan, guys. Makikita nyo yan, yung sinaunang ginagamit nilang panguha ng mga isda. Ayan, mga arts. Ayan. How about
Lobster, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, at 12:15 our time, we have another virtual reality on the Milky Way. I know Sheena is looking forward to that. Then we will continue on exploring the museum here. So we've got a pool table up here. I'm not sure what that's here. We'll have to investigate it and see what it's about. It's a pool table. It looks like it's hand carved. Oh, that looks like a history. Let's see what it says over here. When the table returned to Australia, Hubert continued to display at a major international exhibition in Adelaide in 1887 and in Melbourne in 1888. In 1889, Hubert moved to the south coast of New South Wales and ran the commercial hotel in Milton. A visitor in 1895 noted that Mr. Hubert still retains his chief masterpiece that was exhibited at the International, but in the 1900s, Hubert sold the table to keep it travelling first to New Zealand, then to the United Kingdom and the United States. It was acquired in the museum in 2022. There we go. So we've got a coat of arms. Yeah. Handcrafted, handmade ferns. Look at the detail. Okay, we have some Aboriginal artwork here. We've learned a lot from the older people. That's why we are here today, to keep carrying on, to tell the story of what we've been through by our ancestors. It is very important for me to put that story on a piece of paper. So it's on the Tiwi Islands, which is just north of Darwin. North of Darwin in the Northern Territory, Northern Australia. From the Torres Strait Island peoples. They have different culture to the Aboriginals from the mainland, and each, let's say, clan of Aboriginal person have a slightly different dialect. They don't have any written language as such. It's all like a verbal language. Where is this one from? It's a kangaroo. Focus on Arnhem Land, which is in the Northern Territory to the east of Darwin and to the Gulf of Carpentaria area. Okay, some more Aboriginal artwork. During the dreaming, a large group of tinkering men gathered for a ceremony. A ritual area is prepared by clearing the ground of plants, raking it smooth, and applying a mixture of blood and water to harden the surface. Meat was then presented to the elders as a gift from the young men in return for teaching the law. The ceremonial area is indicated by a consecutive circle in the center of the painting. The lines that connect the large and smaller circles symbolizes the ceremonial objects used in the ritual. So right there in the middle is the ceremony area. So like I said, we're just waiting for our next exhibition, the Milky Way. And there we go. Oh, let's go over to here. Some more artwork. This painting depicts 7 sisters dreaming in the lands of Western Australia. The story tells this group of sisters who are relentlessly pursue a shape-changing sorceress. Their dramatic encounter is recorded in the features of the land. This painting depicts the side of the Docker River where the sisters were chased into the sky and became stars. Okay, and what's this painting? The Seven Sisters Dreaming Story. This episode of the storyline follows a group of sisters as they pursued. In this painting, the women are travelling between Turalong and Kirrawin in the lands of Western Australia. They stop to gather bush tucker and collect a kind of sweet berry called the Kamapura, which they grind up to make jam. Lake Disappointment from my old man, the rover, told me. We gotta do a painting and tell our story through there. Might as well do it over through art as some. Lake Disappointment is a salt lake in western desert lands of Western Australia. It's an important place for finding water and traditional food. The lake is also a significant spiritual and ceremonial site for the Matu people. In the late 2020s, it was formally renamed Canberra Pt.5 Lake, acknowledging the Matu people ownership and connection to the country. Here, Cliff Book paints his parents' country along with a middle stretch of the Canning Stock route. His work tells the story of the father selecting his brother Rover Thomas, and father set off just north of the Lake Disappointment, marking the white shape at the bottom right of the painting. Oh, okay. Okay, you'll have to take the bag and hand it to Mum. Aboriginal art. So we have red glass to make it all good. Okay. And if we can see over in the distance, guys, we've got the fountain going today. The sun's come out. You might be able to sneak out there. Might be able to see the fountain heading off over there. Oh, we've got some virtual reality live. Oh, this is interactive.
Try to be as close as possible to the language I translate, close to the English.
Okay. Betty era trip. Australian Taiwan. Chasing the rainbow. Okay, let's move on to Betty's Era Trip. Oh. Department of Education Topper. We've got sound.
Hello, Betty. Hello, Betty. Pleasure to meet you.
Looks very
Betty.
modern type stuff.
Is that you, Betty? Now I can suddenly become Betty Grumble. How's it? Oh, but Grouch is back. Betty. Oh, hey. I feel like I could suddenly become Betty Apple. Oh, suddenly. Betty Grumble. All of a sudden, it's all possible. Possible. Hey. What? 超级贝蒂，给力贝蒂，荡起雨声，当鸣当跳，让这些话流入你的身体。Super Betty, power Betty, every trip upon your crack. Let these words slip. 食物是给你了解时间的礼物，这趟旅让你再也不休息。Era is giving support. Era is giving perspective. Era. 错误是这趟旅程的礼物，给你新的视角。哈哈，当然是这趟旅行给你新的可能性。当然是这个。
I think this is a bit weird for me. Ultra modern. Oh, we're waiting for our next one. We've got oh no, we've got another one in a few minutes. No, I mean we've got another show. Yeah, we've got another VR. As soon as that goes, we can go downstairs and finish. Yep, I've already showed them the fountain through the window. Okay. Motion capture. Reborn digitally. Between our physical and digital identity. Travel through 6 realms based on the cycle of karma in Buddhist, Tension Road, Shin Road, Animal Road, Hunger, Ghost Road, Hell Road, and the Human Road. Fusion religious imagery and popular culture. Performance takes the audience through each thematic cycle. Javanese court culture. This one has been focused on the ceremonies, philosophy, and spiritual importance of Javanese women hair. In the Malay word referring to bun hairstyle.
In the fading library of Hades, trying to remember what type of years her mother was. Ibu Yuridis adalah pria.
I feel cold.
Feel cold? Oh, we're going to the Milky Way. Where's the Sheena? Is it starting? Is it queue up, Sheena?
No, but the woman's outside.
The what?
There's a woman.
Oh, we could go and get somewhere further to the back. Do you think? Or are you happy with this kind of seats where you were? But yeah, we should got like 5 minutes or so. Should we? Let's go fall in line. Ken? Oh no! What did you? Oh
It is not cycle.
no! He touched it and it zoomed. How do I zoom it back out?
She ended. Did you end it? It's in.
No, I didn't end it. It was
Okay.
Ken just
Yeah.
grabbed the
I
hold of
just-
it. It's still live. It says so.
I don't think you can film that. No, cannot, but we just put in a bag.
If we can go inside or
We're gonna do space.
yeah, we're gonna do space. Now, Space Cadet, look around. Space Cadet, look around. Okay. We're going in there now, and
Hello.
I haven't got enough content yet. I've got to do some more content.
connection to its roots in nature worship.
You need to offload all your adornings.
Is anyone waiting for the tickets still to be scanned?
Did you?
Yeah, we've already scanned them.
Okay.
Take your glasses off. I wore them.
Did you take your glasses off?
I didn't have my glasses
Everyone that's doing the VR 12-15 session, we will start renewing in 2 minutes. Just a couple of things before we go in. Yeah, sorry, just a couple of things before we go in. I'll lead you in and hand you the headsets. Just keep in mind, please don't touch any of the buttons on there, just because the headsets are already set up and ready for you. take a seat, if you can, sit a space apart, but if you're in a big group and you're close together, that's fine. And just keep the headsets on your lap until instructors are on your head. And that should be good.
Be good, please be good, please be good.
Oh, sorry, darling, sorry.
Alrighty everyone, welcome to the museum, welcome to the VR experience that we're running today. The show we'll be having today is Beyond the Milky Way. The show sort of talks about radio wave telescope technology and sort of the exploration space that this technology allows, so the mapping of our universe. This show has nothing to do with Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that. If you hear any explosions or in particular if you hear any sirens or alarms, like a whoop whoop sort of sound, not part of the show at all. That's probably the emergency evacuation alarm for the building. So if that were to happen, all I would ask is that you take your headsets off and follow staff instructions so we can evacuate safely. Now, I understand that it is New Year's Day, so some of you might be feeling a bit fragile. We understand that VR can sometimes cause you to feel a bit queasy and a bit sick. So if that happens to you whilst you're watching the show, we ask that you just take your headset off. We'll have it up, the show up on the big screen here, so you're not going to miss out. If you do feel extremely unwell, we'd say pop your hand up, and that way we can come around and assist you that way. If any of you want to wear your glasses whilst watching the VR, you're more than welcome to do so. Just be mindful that when you pop your goggles on, or when you're taking the headset off, we don't want you to scratch your lenses, so just be mindful of that. In terms of the headsets themselves, you can adjust the straps on the sides so they can fit better to your head. It's not an aeroplane, so you can help others first before helping yourself, and that way you can actually see what you're doing. Other than that, I reckon we can pop our headsets on. And when you pop your headset on, what you should see is a large play button in green with a white triangle in it. If you cannot see this, please raise your hand and we'll come round and help you out. Right. So when you look forward, can everyone see that green play button? Yeah. Can you please raise your hand if you cannot see it? All right, beautiful. Well, let's let's go beyond the Milky Way then.
For as long as we can remember, we've looked to the skies for meaning and understanding. When Galileo used telescopes to explore our night sky, he saw that the universe is far bigger and more complicated than ever imagined, and confirmed that Earth is not at the centre of the universe. Now, we're on the brink of our next giant leap for humankind. Our understanding of the universe is all about to change.
Welcome to the MRO, the Murchison Radio Astronomy Observatory. Hi, I'm Anthony Schinkel, and it's great to have you here on Wodjiri country in Western Australia. The MRO is host to a diverse range of radio telescopes. Over my shoulder to the right, you can see the dishes of the ASCAP telescope. Down in the valley to your left, you can see the little spidery antennas of the Murchison Wide Field Array, the MWA. Soon, the MRO will be host to the SKA, the Square Kilometre Array, the biggest radio telescope ever built. Half of it will be here and half in the Karoo district in South Africa. Immediately to my right, you can see just one of the 131,000 antennas that will be scattered across the MRO. The SKA will be one of the greatest scientific endeavours ever in the history of mankind. What we're building out here is a time machine, capable of looking back to the very beginning of our universe. A telescope so powerful it will be able to see how the first stars and galaxies formed, answer questions about dark matter and black holes, and perhaps finally answer the question, are we alone in the universe? How do we know all this? Well, our existing telescopes are already achieving groundbreaking discoveries here at the MRO. Before we could go on to build a square kilometre array, we first had to build some precursor telescopes. Behind me, you can see the ASCAP, the Australian Square Kilometre Array Pathfinder, owned and operated by Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO. This telescope works in radio waves, not optical light. Radio waves have the advantage that they can penetrate through some of the gas and dust clouds in the universe that block optical light. This allows us to see far beyond the Milky Way, to much more distant objects, and right back to the earliest period of the universe's evolution. There are 36 of these traditional-looking dishes actually working together as one giant telescope, capable of detecting radio signals over a huge area of the sky, far faster than almost any other telescope in the world. We're lucky enough today to be standing inside one of the ASCAP dishes. Behind you, you have a spectacular rainbow. Overhead, we have some of the bird life out here. The Earth has been continually bombarded by radio waves from all the natural phenomena in the universe that generates them. But these radio waves are incredibly weak by the time they get to us here, and they're easily swamped by all the man-made sources of radio interference. So we have to be somewhere very remote. In addition, because they're so weak, we need big collecting areas. So we have these 36 12-meter dishes. The incoming radio waves reflect off this surface and are focused up to the very specialized radio camera called the phased array feed. This allows us to see an enormous area of the sky all at once. ASCAP, like most radio telescopes, doesn't need optically clear skies to see stars and galaxies. It can operate 24 hours a day, mapping the entire sky with great sensitivity. From here inside a dish, we can see the optical view of the night sky and our own Milky Way galaxy, the giant band of cosmic dust, gas, and hundreds of billions of stars. If we switch to a radio view of the sky, not only can we see the Milky Way differently as the telescope does, but we're able to see past all that, past the Milky Way, and receive, right where you're looking from now, all the very faint radio signals arriving from the rest of the universe. Recently, we completed the Rapid ASCAP Continuum Survey, RACS. It showed more than 3 million galaxies in just 300 hours of observing. Previously, it would have taken as long as 10 years with any other radio telescope to complete this survey. We can then see these galaxies in surprising detail, such as Centaurus B with its 2 bright jets shooting out, or M83, a spiral galaxy full of star clusters and supernova remnants, making it one of the brightest in the sky. We're about to undertake surveys that will discover tens of millions more galaxies. At this time of night, when the dishes are surveying in perfect unison, it's hard not to wonder what else is out there that we will soon discover. ASCAP will continue to do fantastic science for many, many years to come, but it can't do everything. The next big step in radio astronomy will be the SK8 telescopes. Experts from over a dozen countries have been designing the SK8 telescope for several years now, but it's not the first time we've used instruments to look at the sky. For over 400 years, since Galileo's time, we've been examining the heavens, trying to understand how the universe works. But Indigenous Australians have been looking up at the sky for tens of thousands of years, trying to understand our place in this vast cosmos.
Wajungu Ini Leone, Governor Yamachinyalu, Wajuri Banalane. I'm standing in the Murchison region of Western Australia, on the ancient land of the Wajiri Yamaji people. It's one of the quietest places in Australia, which is why they put the radio astronomer here and the antennas, so the scientists can see what's going on out in the universe from our country. It's a special place and home for the future SKA, and our people who have been here for 40-odd thousand years, who are the traditional custodians. Wajiri are some of the oldest astronomers in this world. Our connection to the land and the sky are very important. The night sky helped Wajiri guided by the Milky Way and star systems. Sun Garangu, Moon Willera and Bundara Ilgarila, stars in the sky, are valued for the keeping of our stories. Yamajinga Wonga, our country is like a living museum. When I was a little girl, we lived on the stations in the Murchison, and my brothers and sisters and I would camp out. We had no power and we used to always look up at the night sky and see all these stars and wonder how they even got there. We were taught it's rude to point at night because you never know who you're pointing your finger at. By the campfires at night, we listen to ancient stories about stars and galaxies. Malbanga Jiriingu Yalabiri Yinamana. Up in the Milky Way, the emu is sitting. It tells us when it's Yalabiri Wallanga, emu egg time, when it's time to go and collect the eggs. We have Dreamtime stories like Nyalawadi, the Seven Sisters. With the human eye, you can only see 6 stars. But with a telescope, you can see the 7 and much, much more. I always wondered what was even up there. Now with the SKA telescopes and scientists like Kath Trop, we may finally know. This is the prototype station of the Australian SKA telescope. These Christmas tree dipoles are designed to be extremely sensitive to radio light over a very wide area of the sky. And that's because the light from the early universe is so weak by the time it reaches us that we want to collect as much radio light as possible. In fact, all the Christmas tree dipoles in this station work together to collect as many photons as they can so we can see back to the early universe. Radio astronomy has only been around for less than 100 years. But light has been travelling to us for more than 13 billion years. And it's only in this point in human history that we've had the technology and computing capability to build a really big radio telescope so that we can see back to the start of the universe and answer some of the most challenging questions remaining in astronomy today. The SKA will generate an enormous amount of data, unlike anything we've had to process before. And we'll use enough optical fibre to wrap around our planet twice.
requiring one of the fastest supercomputers on Earth. This is the core data storage facility at the Palsy Supercomputing Research Centre based in Perth. It's so loud in here because of all of the fans keeping the system cool. We need supercomputers such as these to process the gigantic amounts of raw data coming from the telescope. What this supercomputer can do in 1 second, it would take a person 31 million years to calculate. Astronomers then analyse these data for science, including beautiful radio images of the sky, unlocking some of the greatest mysteries of the universe. Each of the antennas responds to radio light from the sky in a similar way to a TV antenna. We're building 131,000 individual antennas, which will work together as one giant telescope. All of the SKA stations are being built out, spanning 65 kilometres end to end. Together with South Africa, headquarters in the UK and international partners, we are creating one observatory. The greatest challenge to astronomers is that the signals we're looking for in the universe are incredibly weak and buried within very bright signals from our galaxy and other phenomena. This makes them extremely difficult to detect. I use radio telescopes to hunt for the cosmic dawn, a needle in a haystack signal from the first billion years of the universe, when the earliest generations of stars formed. Building a radio telescope is like building a time machine. The further we look into space, the further back in time we can see. And so we can chart the full history of the universe over billions of years by looking at our data. Finding those first stars is the final missing link in our understanding of cosmic evolution. It's moments like this that we can really appreciate the enormity and beauty of what we're trying to achieve. Between us and the cosmic dawn are a lot of other galaxies that emit radio light, including our own galaxy. But the universe is transparent to radio light, so we can see past those galaxies to the first stars. There's a lot to learn about the universe with the SKA between us and the cosmic dawn. And science like this is being undertaken by Natasha Hurley-Walker. This is the Murchison Wide Field Array. These little spider-like dipoles behind me are observing low-frequency radio waves from the cosmic immensity of space. The dipoles are clustered together in tiles, and there are hundreds of these tiles spread out across 5 kilometres of the Australian outback. Working together, they're collecting the data that astronomers like me are using to explore the universe. We're seeing the remains of exploded stars, huge clusters of galaxies smashing together, and the supermassive black holes at the heart of distant galaxies. Just like the future SKA, the antennas of the MWA work together as one giant telescope. The MWA is operated by Curtin University on behalf of an international consortium. One thing you can't do in a spaceship is to explore beyond the Milky Way. But with these telescopes, we can. Surprisingly, at the heart of every galaxy is an enormous, supermassive black hole. We can't see the black hole directly because light falls in and it can't get out. But the gravitational forces around the black hole pull in stars and other gas, ripping them apart. This means we can identify exciting new galaxies far beyond the Milky Way, only visible to us in the radio. Behind me is one of the most far-flung tiles of the MWA. Spacing the tiles out gives us a more detailed picture of the sky. Like most radio telescopes, the MWA observes during both day and night. Looking up, you can see the band of our Milky Way galaxy, our home. 100 billion stars light up the sky, only partly obscured by patches of cosmic dust. One of the things that I have done with the MWA is make an incredible survey called the Galactic and Extragalactic All-Sky MWA Survey, or GLEAM for short. This is the Milky Way like we've never seen it before, the world's first radio colour view of the sky. GLEAM shows us much more of our universe than we could ever see in optical light. The intense, fiery light is our own Milky Way as it looks in the radio. If we know that at the centre of every galaxy is a black hole, what else does GLEAM reveal? If you look above the Milky Way, up to the right, you can see two huge lobes glowing in the radio. These huge lobes are the results of a supermassive black hole at the heart of a nearby galaxy, producing jets moving at nearly the speed of light. What about all of the other dots? You might be thinking, well, those are just stars, but they're not. Every single one of these tiny dots is a galaxy, millions to billions of light years away. If you look around you, you can see 300,000 radio galaxies. Some of them possibly like our own. We can't yet see back to the beginning of time and find the signal Kath Trott is searching for. But the SKA will. When the SKA sees first light, we're going to build a complete picture of the evolution of our universe. We're going to find things we haven't even predicted. We're going to explore millions of galaxies. And if there's life out there, this will be our chance to find it.
Who knows what we'll soon discover? It may not be too long before we look back at this moment in human history when we thought we were alone in the universe.
you go. Na nagtatapos ang ating adventure.